Hello and welcome to the last part of the tutorial about Sony Vegas. Let's start. First, let's create a little bit of space over here. And then just go and add a texture and a text on top of it. Adjust both by your taste. You can see how you can increase the transparency of the background. Go and continue with adjusting. By the way, we learned this in the second part. When you finish with adjusting, close the window, and always when you would like to animate the specific item, you would have to click on this button on that item, and the window where you will animate will pop out. Because we clicked on the item where is just text, we will animate the text. Here you can animate moving, rotating, and other simple options. So at the bottom you have the timing of the specific item. In our case, we have the timing of the text. So as we can see, the text hello lasts 10 seconds in our project, and we have the option to animate it however we want in that 10 seconds. By default you always have the first keyframe created at the beginning, so the first keyframe represents the text, which you can see on the screen right now. So first of all, move the cursor to a time where you want to make a change. So to move a text, to rotate text, basically anything. You can see the time where your cursor is at the bottom right corner. So let's say that I want to make a move at 1 second. So move a cursor there, then simply click on plus sign on the button below. With that action you will create a new keyframe. Then go and select that new keyframe with your mouse and then simply do a change to your text. I will just zoom in the text. After you done with your changes, click on your new keyframe with right mouse button and select the type of the transition between those two keyframes you want. I always choose smooth option because I just want a smooth movement between those keyframes. Now move the cursor and you can see what we have done to our text. Now at 2 seconds, let's create a new keyframe, and remember, when you create a new keyframe, it is automatically selected. So in this case we don't need to click on it with the mouse. So now simply move the text out of the screen, and again select the smooth movement between keyframes. Let's watch the demonstration. Now let's try to animate the texture. So again click on the button, add the texture, and the window will pop out. Of course you don't have to move the text away, but I will do that just for the purpose of this tutorial. So again move the cursor to the time where you want to make a change, or with other words, a keyframe. Then create a new keyframe and then make a change to a texture. Let's rotate it. After that, select the type of the movement between two keyframes, and now we can see the demonstration. So with using the second button on the item, you will have the option to animate the movement, rotation, and scaling of that item. If you want to animate other more advantage and interesting things, you will have to do that with adding different effects on the item. So simply choose the effect and drag it on the item. And easily release it. After that, the window will automatically pop out. Now be aware that some of the effects are not animatable, so those you can't animate. If you see this kind of timings below when the window opens, that obviously means that the effect is animatable. So now use the same process as before. First, choose the time where you want to make a change. Then create a new keyframe. After that, just simply play with the options above. When you are pleased with the effect, just choose the type of movement between keyframes you want. Let's see the demonstration. You can see how color is slowly changing from one to another. Let's add an effect to our text. We can see that the text isn't visible because of the transformations we added before. So let's go and delete the keyframes we created before. First, click on the second button to open the window where we can animate. Then delete them. After you delete the keyframes you added before, the text will be in the primary state. Then close the window and click on the third button where we can adjust all the effects which are added to the specific item. We can see the effect we added, and the timing is visible at the bottom. That means that we can animate this effect. Now use the well-known process of animating. Here I will first increase the size before adding new keyframe. That action will impact on the first keyframe. Then create a new keyframe and decrease the size. Now let's watch the preview. Remember that you can manipulate with the keyframes however you want. Let's add another effect to text. But first go and click on the item that you are editing to have the option to see it in the review window at the right. So just use the process as before. Now watch the demonstration. We can see that the effect is not visible. That is because we faded the video at the beginning, right on the time when the bevel effect should happen. So go and click on the third button where you can adjust your added effect, and let's just change the order of the two keyframes of the first added effect. So basically we will change the order of the entire effect. Grab the keyframe with a left mouse button and carry it to another place. Let's see the demonstration. We can see that now the effect is working. Now let's remove the effect from texture and add a new one. So first choose how you want to begin with the effect. Then create a new keyframe and make some changes. Watch the demonstration. Let's see how to animate transitions. The process is the same. First add the transition between two parts, then the window will open automatically. First select the transition with mouse to have the option to see the preview of the changes in the right corner. Then follow the same steps as before. Watch the demonstration. For the end, let's add amazing effect to the video, which is lens flare. So if you want to move lens, just click on the circle and move it with the mouse. So let's animate it. Let's start with animating a little bit later. We could just grab the first keyframe and move it a little bit on the right, but I want the lens to be on the screen. So to achieve that, just create a new keyframe, but don't make any changes to it. And after that create a new keyframe, this time make changes as always, so the changes will appear from the second to third keyframe. Watch the demonstration. So that is pretty much all about animating stuff in Sony Vegas. Use this process, and if you don't understand it completely yet, go and play with the keyframes, and you will get it. So when you finish with your project, then is the time to render it to a specific format. Go and click on Project, and then Render. First choose the location where you want to save it. You can name it here, and then choose the output format. I recommend .wmv format. The size of the video is small, and the quality is amazing. So choose .wmv format, and then click on Customize. For the best quality, choose at first Window Best. Then at video bar, increase the video quality to 100%, and under image size click on custom, and write the original resolution of the video. Then just click on OK, check out those options, and click on save. So that is all about Sony Vegas tutorials. If this was helpful, like or subscribe. Have a nice day.